Artium has an initiative we call LEAP, LLM-Enhanced Agile Process. We use AI tools to enhance the agile or extreme programming methodologies of developing technology or software products. We've begun creating videos and marketing materials for the LEAP initiative. Now, my alter ego is a score composer, so naturally I think to myself, we need intro music. Let's use LLM AI tools in the process of creating this. I will pair with AI on the ideation and execution of this short composition. All right. I typically turn to ChatGPT to have a conversational exploration with an LLM AI, but today I'm going to use Claude AI from Anthropic. What I did is I asked it about assisting me with composing this piece, and it was humble about what it could and couldn't do, but it can definitely have a conversation about it. So I asked the key question, which is, what are some compositional techniques that communicate transformation? And I got to tell you, it nailed it. This is exactly how humans think of this. Modulations are when the key changes and really feels like you've landed somewhere new. So that's definitely going to use that. Rhythmic acceleration gives a sense of an accelerating heart rate. Rising lines give the sense of increasing energy. Introducing new instruments, yes, especially I think in our case, if the instruments at the end are more electronic, more high tech than the ones at the beginning. And there's some other ideas. Dynamic swells, definitely. We're going to crescendo to a nice moment there as we make our transformation. So there's the ideas. Let's jump in. Okay, cinematically, one of the most compelling modulations is called the chromatic medium modulation. Here's a melody I've worked out that will give us two different chromatic medium modulations within 4 measures. Nice, right? Now I'll drop the melody, just the melody and the chords, into a music notation app. The playback, a system called Note Performer, uses physical modeling synthesis and has been trained with machine learning to interpret and perform the notation like a human would. Not perfect, but it's a start. In order to develop the baseline, what I did is I had another conversation with ChatGPT, which is recorded here. I mentioned that we wanted to work on the baseline and how are we going to communicate with each other, because this is not just standard English, right? So it gave me some options. I wanted to use something I could just make a textual representation. So we chose number 4, and then it gave me some examples of what it might expect from me, and I gave it that and a little bit more because I wanted to give it the meter, I wanted to give it the bar lines, and it came back with a baseline right here. It's very basic. It's just 1 note per measure, per bar, and so we had a conversation about how to make that a little bit more interesting, and landed on this bass line here at the end, which has some passing tones and a little bit of motion, a little bit of movement. So we're going to go with that. And we'll drop it into the notation program and let it play back with the AI-trained synthesis. All right. Let's get those chords fleshed out a little bit, get a little counterpoint, a little bit of inversion, and let's do this as a string quartet. Here we go. Nice, nice. Let's go big. Let's make a string section. To get that bigger sound, we're going to drop these strings into sections and add a double bass. Let's hear what that sounds like. Yeah, that is cinematic. Okay, so I've orchestrated the whole thing. I'm going to double a lot of these lines on the horns. Let's hear that. Excellent. Okay, I love those horns. Now, to get back to some of the things that the AI suggested at the beginning, we're going to have the trumpets rub here in that third measure, a little bit of dissonance that resolves in the fourth measure when we have our big modulation. Let's hear what that sounds like. And throw in some woodwinds, and we'll throw in some percussion. Excellent. Okay. And put it all together. It sounds like this. But we're not done yet. We need to have some kind of transition to some high-tech or more modern instrumentation, a little less classical. So we're going to drop this into the DAW and go from there. In the digital audio workstation, we've got our orchestra mix in track 1, and we're going to drop in 2 new tracks of electric guitar with lots of distortion. Let's hear that. Oh, I love it. Okay, I want one last thing. We're going to hit the AI again, and we're going to simulate the classic sort of retro futuristic feel of synthesizers with arpeggiators, that kind of effect. Here's my conversation with ChatGPT. I mentioned particular analog synths and the kind of effect that I'm trying to get, and it said, okay, great, we can do that. It has this sort of up-down pattern, and it gave me an example of something that would feel sort of random. And I was like, okay, great. Well, we're in the key of A. We want to stick to the notes of the A major triad, and it gave me those notes, including the octave numbers. And from there, I mentioned, okay, well, what if we try it with the A major 7 chord, which adds an additional note? And so I have 2 things I can try here, 2 different examples, and I can plug these into Logic and see how we do. There are our 2 synth tracks, and this is the final product. LLM AIs are not, in fact, dystopia of bots taking our jobs. It can be, instead, a playground of enhanced human creativity and productivity. And I hope you'll come to the same conclusion, and hope you enjoyed seeing the process that I went through for this project and the final result. Cheers.